What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new things to counterpunch today concerning Tyson Fury and the Glovegate conspiracy. And as I promised you guys that I would do another video about this, supporting the theory, I always want to hear everyone out. So I listen, I pay attention, I observe, and I use my own common sense, okay? Now, there is a apprentice of Dante's Boxing Nation called Aki, right? And Aki's been spitting out these videos, these conspiracy videos, and he's been getting a lot of views from these videos. And he's been trying to convince people that Tyson Fury cheated. So he, of course, jumped on the bandwagon of a guy that's not really even it's not even a boxing channel, Young Pharaoh. And Young Pharaoh had a guest, and it was Ashbury, the sparring partner of Tyson Fury, and he claims that Tyson Fury had the sparring weights in the gloves where he tore out, and he said where he picked it up and he was like, "Hey guys, look at this." And he said that there were stuff falling out of the glove. That's what he was saying. And he said he made them all pay for everything and send them home. Well, that's what he said on the interview. However, there's no evidence supporting that. But there was a video showing that he was pressing into the glove, and the glove wasn't as cushioned as he thought it would be. So he felt cheated. I remember seeing that because I reported that particular video, and it was last year. Okay, now if this guy, the sparring partner, if he had evidence of actually stuff falling out and he pulled a weight out of there, why didn't he videotape that? Because he clearly videotaped something and people didn't know that what he was videotaping. So why didn't he videotape the evidence? It sounds shady. It seems like what you videotaped and you wanted people to see was not what you said in this interview with Young Pharaoh. It's almost like you're adding more things on to what you claim you saw, and you don't have proof on what you claim you saw, but what you videotaped is what we seen, and we didn't see what you said you saw. So that's one thing, okay? The guest, Ashbury or whatnot, he's a boxer, but you know, he makes his money like a lot of fighters. They make their money from sparring, you know, being sparring partners for, you know, top, you know, echelon of fighters like Tyson Fury is, okay? So then Aki was showing, hey, how this rapidly came about, and how, you know, this speculation started growing with interest, and people started really catching on and asking questions about if this was possibly true. So I'm going to give you guys an aid of what they figure they saw, and let me show you what they're using, okay? And this is actually a picture of what they say they're looking at, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys can see that, right? And they were saying that Tyson Fury, his hand, it's not really clear, but they say his thumb, which is supposed to be here, which is actually backwards, if you can tell. They're trying to say his thumb was supposed to be here. Well, that doesn't make sense, because this is my left hand, and your thumb wouldn't be there. Hold on, let me change this around because it looks retarded in this light. Okay, all right. Now, they were trying, you can't see that outline. Hold on, let me change it. Let me change it here. So what they were trying to say is the thumb area. If you see where the thumb's supposed to be, where they claim Tyson Fury's fist was, they claim his fist wasn't there, right? So if his fist wasn't there, first of all, this is my left hand, okay? So if this is my left hand, I'm doing this. If you see where that fist is, it doesn't even add up, okay? Because the thumb should be here instead of here, because that's a right-handed drawing of what they're trying to illustrate, which is retarded. Okay, because that's the left hand. Okay, that's the left-handed glove. They're trying to make it look like a right-handed glove, but that's his left-handed glove. And I'm gonna tell you something else. This area right here, if that was the case, you would have saw his fingers balled up here. You wouldn't have saw that indentation, because that indentation is where the wraps are. It's where the wraps begin, because it's a circle there. Okay, it's a circle there that shows where his hand is. Do you see that? Okay, and his thumb wouldn't be there because, again, you see the right hand on where, because it's opposite actually. But if you can tell, that left hand, that's not a left-handed thumb. Okay, that is not how a left-handed thumb would look in that angle. Okay, the left-handed thumb would be actually right here instead of here. That's for a right-handed thumb. You know, look at it like this. Let's look at it like this, because I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay, your right-handed thumb would be, hold on a second. Okay, your right-handed thumb would be here. That's what they're trying to show you. Okay, now if you look, that's how that would look if you were right-handed, but it's a left-handed glove, so it should be here. Okay, so look at that and look at that. Do you see the left thumb is supposed to be wrapping around the knuckles, which they're trying to say that the thumb is back here, which makes no sense because it's a left-handed. You would have to be utterly deflected or deformed for that to look that way. And then you would see, you wouldn't even see those white. You wouldn't see that white. What you see is, this is what you see, okay? Here's his fingers here. Those are those grooves. You wouldn't see a groove. You wouldn't see those grooves if his hand wasn't there. As big as Tyson Fury's hand is, this is his whole hand, okay? Because his hand is so damn big, it has to fit in there. He couldn't have time to put it in there, and I see what they're saying. And it would make sense if you wouldn't have saw this area here, okay? Do you see what I'm saying? You wouldn't have saw any of that white part. You would have saw a crease of where his fingers were because they were balled up like they're claiming on this video. Look at that. Right? Look at how that's supposed to be. You can clearly see that's the palm of his hand. Okay? And the groove here is his finger. That's the groove. That's the groove of his finger. That's the groove of his finger, right? And it's more like a slap, if anything. A lot of fighters did it, like I said. Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, even Adrian Broner did a lot of that, okay? It's just those guys like Adrian Broner and like those guys, they have smaller hands, so they don't have as much problems. But if you can tell any guy that's seen after the end of a fight, you see how hard it is to get out of those damn gloves. So you couldn't ball your fist up within a certain area, okay? And that wouldn't even help them anyway. But I see what they're trying to say. Okay? Now, obviously, they're doing that for views. You know, a lot of people, if you have a certain mindset and you think that a person that does not look like you, is not from your ethnical background, clearly could not do what Tyson Fury did without cheating. A lot of people have that. A lot of people have that mindset that if you don't look like me, you can't be stronger than I am. Therefore, you can't win. Therefore, we believe this because we care to believe this, because we have already a hindered mindset. Okay, it's already altered. It's already to a point where it's biased. Okay, because you believe no way Tyson Fury done that to Deontay Wilder. You know, and then I would have, and I listen to these guys because I try to make sense of what they're saying. You know, like a lot of people, like, you know, I like to hear people out to see if they're making sense. Okay, but this clearly doesn't even make sense. Okay, and it's one of those things where if that was the case, there would have been more looseness here, because of where your hand's supposed to go. Because see, if he balled it up and it was like cuffed downward, okay, you would see more of a bulge. This would be all over the place, you know, and this would tear. You know what I'm saying? This would tear. So, but what happens is people don't know about boxing. That's why they brought this guy in. And I don't know if he has an agenda or whatever, but he didn't supply the right type of information. The video that he displayed and he had showing Tyson Fury's gloves didn't have anything falling from it. It didn't have any cut that he said it was in there again. So you're telling us all this stuff, but you're not showing us anything. And what you showed us is not based on what you told us and what you're telling us. So you want us to believe there was something in his glove, like some Antonio Margarito kind of business. But at the same token, you're not showing us that, and you didn't videotape it. So you would think common sense would have you, if you saw that, that would be the first thing. Like, oh man, I got to record this. These dudes are dirty. These dudes have me. They're trying to hurt me. So I got to record this to protect myself. And on top of that, if they knew and he had proof that they were doing that, he would have sued them a long time ago. Think about it, people. This Ashbury boxer, he would have sued both. He would have sued the whole training camp for at least five to 10 million, because they put his life in jeopardy. They were fighting him or training him without those gloves, and he at least would have been smart enough to get evidence that supports his case, right? On top of what he can do now. And there's a lot of fighters that use old gloves. Do you think fighters use brand new gloves every time they train and they spar? No. I got gloves that are piss poor old. Okay? You know what I mean? They're like shoes. You get to wearing a shoe, you get a shoe in and you wear it to the part that you break it in. That's the gloves are the same way. Okay, and then they stretch. So, that gives you that air, that mobility that you need, that comfortableness that you need. Yes, there's a such thing as old gloves. But again, that would have made sense if he was able to support that argument of the things that he's trying to accuse Tyson Fury of. He should have had that video on that kind of stuff. Like straight up, what was he doing? Where was his phone at? You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to believe somebody like that based on what he's already showed us. This would have been big news last year, right? I remember when it was, late last year, I think it was, maybe August of last year, of 19, when this guy was just like, oh man, the gloves, the padding and gloves. And I saw it, I was like, well, if they're doing that, that's jacked up. You know what I mean? First of all, I don't want to sound unsympathetic towards anybody like that. I don't. But then again, I don't want someone to try to make noise after the fact with new evidence that they can't prove now. I think we've had enough of backdated so-called evidence from people that are really not even relevant now, but trying to make themselves relevant. You know what I'm saying? So it's aggravating and it's annoying. But anyway, that's just me wrapping it up with this particular issue with another Glovegate video. You guys tell me what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.